Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we will be playing Scenario 2 of the Heroes of Might and Magic 4 campaign, Elwin and Shaera. Scenario 2, The Mark of the Tiger. I will be playing this campaign with no commentary, so I hope you guys enjoy it.
How can the Elven Court choose my beloved for such a deadly mission? It's absurd, especially when so many veterans have already volunteered for the task, my own father among them. As for Elwin, he turned pale as a summer cloud when Lord Hark asked him to face the White Tigers alone. Oh, return to me, my beloved. I cannot lose you now.
Lord Hark stood concealed behind the tall rose bushes at the entrance to the garden. His lips pressed into a fine line as he watched Shaera dance with the colorfully dressed young elf named Elwin. He had watched them for weeks, ever since they had returned from their adventure in the wild forests along the coast of the Gold Sea. To the dismay of many of the male members of the Elven Court, Shaera rarely had time for suitors these days. Instead, Shaera spent time with her birds, sometimes disappearing into the woods alone for hours to train a particular pet. She seemed to only accept Hark's invitations to dinner, and although this should have made him feel confident, he was afraid it was only out of respect for her father's wishes. Lord Hark suspected that she now had feelings for the gangly druid. Hark had seen their stolen glances, their knowing smiles, her arm on one of her excursions into the forest. Gnarled oak, and they had kissed. He had even followed Shaera a falcon on. Elwin had been waiting for her by an ancient, and that's when Hark swore to do something about this fool. Shaera was young, naive. This foppish young druid had obviously used their time together when their lives were in danger to confuse her. She was probably just a conquest to him. Elwin had a reputation around court for being charming, but also for being arrogant and selfish. He had wormed his way into the Elven Court, and now he was trying to connive his way up in rank by seducing Shaera. Well, Hark wouldn't allow it. He cared for Shaera too much, but he couldn't accuse Elwin without proof. Part of Hark wanted to challenge the man to a duel, but he knew that doing so would only make himself look bad in Shaera's eyes. Besides, the Elven Court frowned on such behavior these days. What Hark needed was to destroy Shaera's image of Elwin. He needed to expose Elwin's true self, an arrogant coward. When the Elven Court called me forward and announced that I was to lead the effort to bring the mysterious White Tigers into the Aranorn Alliance, I nearly swallowed my tongue. But why? Surely, there are others more qualified, I said. Perhaps, said the court speaker, Lord Hark. But you have proven yourself resourceful, Elwin. On 3 separate occasions we have sent others with more experience, more skills, and more talent, but they have all failed. In fact, they all died. The White Tigers have expressed an interest in joining Aranorn, but we haven't been able to convince them that an alliance would be mutually beneficial. So, we hope that your amazing ability to adapt to a difficult situation, proven to us during your recent adventure, will bring us victory when we are so close to defeat. Several members of the Elven Court applauded. I wanted to refuse, but I found Shaera's face among the crowd. What would she think of me if I turned my back on Aranorn in its time of need? Her father would certainly despise me even more. He already dislikes me because I have never fought in defense of our former nation of Avli, nor for Aranorn. But then 3 people have already died. That I've just found Shaera. The odds of my return seem dim. I don't want to die now. Well, Elwin, do you accept? Aranorn is still weak from the reckoning. Help protect our children, Lord Hark asked. We have few troops. Will you? I glared at the man. The way he asked, I could not refuse. Of course, I said, thus sealing my doom. And that's how I came to be in this remote region of Aranorn. This time, at least, I brought some extra clothes. There was a golden statuette of a woman lying by the side of the path, so I dismounted to investigate. When I knelt to pick up the figure, I heard a soft growl from only inches away. It was a trap. I looked up and found myself staring into the glorious face of a white tiger hiding in the undergrowth. If you had planned to kill me, you would have done it already. That's why I'm still alive, right? Don't ask me how I found the courage to speak. I think it was instinct. That is true, said the tiger. Its voice, coming from what seemed to be its chest, was impossibly deep. Have you come from Aranorn? Asked the tiger. Yes, I said. I am Elwin. I have come to talk to your king or queen or whatever leaders you have. I winced at my own words, tigers before I left the court. Because of it, I guess I could have taken some time to learn something about these white now. I sounded like a fool and I was probably going to get myself killed. We have no leader. Land. Every white tiger is king or queen of their own territory. Right now, you are on my, well then, who has the authority to make an alliance with Aranorn? You do not understand, Elwin Elf, the tiger said, annoyed. One, and you convince us all. Each of us has the authority. Convince sounds too easy, I said before I could stop myself. It is not. None of us are entirely convinced that the elves of Aranorn can help the white tigers. In the past, your kind has talked about mutual protection, but we have seen 3 elves come, and all of them have failed to aid us in any way. What we seek is help with our greatest tragedy, not empty promises. That last comment was uttered with an angry growl that made me scurry away. I came to my feet next to my horse, and if not for the embarrassment of returning to Aranorn a failure, I might have leaped on it and fled that very moment. Instead, I asked, what is this greatest tragedy? Find out for yourself if you can. If you really want this problem solved, wouldn't it be easier to just tell me? Riddles won't get either of us anywhere, I said boldly. Perhaps I found my courage because I was standing further from the tiger now. Do the elves offer us swords and bows only? Is there not any wisdom in Aranorn? There's plenty of wisdom, I said. It's just not here at the moment. Slowly, the white tiger crept from its hiding place. At its full height, it was only a little shorter than my horse, but much stronger. Its great paws were as wide as dinner plates. Imagine what claws reside within. Suddenly, I understood why the elven court so desperately wanted an alliance with the white tigers. I remained still. A few steps, lifted its tail. The tiger approached, and then turned its side toward me. It turned as if to leave. Took no, I shouted, holding my arms before my face just in time. The tiger sprayed me from the waist down, soaking me completely. My skin and the sharp odor made me gag. My soiled purple trousers clung to you. What did you do that for? You have been marked, said the tiger. Now, as long as you wear those clothes, no tiger will harm you. But if you spill the blood of one of my kind, we will know. We will all know. Then there will be no alliance with Aranorn. There will be war. In one great bound, the white tiger vanished into the wilderness. Great, I was a walking sewer now. Did the universe have something against my wardrobe? So, I fell off my horse. When a falcon dives out of the sky and buzzes past your head, you're not exactly thinking about staying in the saddle. On the bird's second approach, it dropped a small roll of parchment into my lap, and then circled around to land on my abandoned saddle. Now that it wasn't a blur of movement, I noticed that the falcon was a beautiful golden creature with keen, black eyes that stared at me defiantly. I unfurled the note and read, "My love, I have greatly missed our walks. and having your long arms around me. Not an hour has gone by that I haven't thought about you. Although your mission is important to Aranorn, I wish that you had not gone. Why couldn't the Elven court send another? Lord Hark, perhaps, or even my father. I know that you could not remain here with me, but I wish I could have followed you. So, I offer you what little help I can. Knows it. This is my best falcon. She is smarter than most of her kind, so beware. I think her name is Breeze. I have not only trained her to hunt, but to scout the land as well. Perhaps she will be able to warn you of danger that you might not have otherwise noticed. I regret that I cannot offer you more, except my love. Be careful, Elwin. Come back to me. Yours, Shaera, making sure that no one was watching, except the bird. I kissed the place where Shaera had signed her name. Then I rolled up the note and slipped it into a pocket to be read and reread later. If we're going to get along, Breeze, I said to the falcon, you're going to have to understand one thing. The bird screeched once as if to say, "What?" I ride the horse, I said. You see some orcs watching from the top of this old tower and approach cautiously, knowing that you can never trust an orc. To your surprise, they don't attack. Then one of them shouts, "No passage by order of the Troll Lord." Troll Lord? Them? So, more trolls are hiding on the other side of this tower. But why have these orcs sided with, "Are you sure I can't pass?" You ask. No, go away. Sensing something in their tone, you press on. In fact, they don't sound like they want to be here at all. These orcs don't exactly sound committed to their job. I was really hoping to get to the other side so I could meet the Troll Lord. "What business do you have with him?" asks the orc. "The business of removing his head from his shoulders, that's what," you say boldly. For a long time, the orcs converse quietly with each other. When they disappear into the tower, you think they have refused. That is, until an empty ceramic bottle lands and shatters at your feet. Lying among the shards is a note. You pick it up and read the crude and misspelled writing. "We do nothing 'cause too many trolls. You kill them, you pass." When you arrive, you find the tower abandoned, its front door hanging wide open. Apparently, the orcs felt they were finally free to escape. Do you want to pass right now? Your falcon, Breeze, returns from one of her scouting trips, landing on your gloved arm. She screeches excitedly, flaps her arms, and tries to bite through the leather around your thumb. You know she's trained to react this way when there is danger near, but she has never tried to harm you before. With a nudge of your arm, you send her back into the air and draw your weapon just as the Troll Lord and his army charges from the nearest grove of trees. Victory! I cheer as the last troll falls. My task is done. Finally, I can get out of these foul-smelling clothes and return home to Shaera. But as I walk among the corpses, removing the tiger pelts so I can burn them later, I hear a soft sound carried to me by the wind. Perched on my shoulder, Breeze digs her talons painfully into my skin. She hears it too. It doesn't sound threatening though, so I try to follow the pitiful noise. Soon, I foolishly leave my army behind and enter a grove of trees. The mewling sound gets louder and louder until I see the hole in the side of a mound. A tiger den. Elwin, you idiot. You're not going in there. I tell myself. But then I've never been too good at following orders, even my own. I walk slowly into the cavernous den, pausing momentarily to allow my eyes to get used to the shadowy interior. I don't even mind the almost overpowering smell, since I've been walking around in a pair of pants soaked by a tiger. Soon, I find the source of the sad crying at the back of the cave. A large female tiger curled up against the wall. She opens her eyes, looks at me, and seems a bit surprised to find an elf. "I had thought you were one of my kind," she says. "It's the pants," I quip. Then, realizing this was probably not the best time for jokes, I say, "What is causing you so much sorrow? Have the trolls hurt you?" Suddenly, the tigress growls toward the ceiling of the den. "Trolls. They are an annoyance only." "An annoyance? Then what have I been doing all this time?" "What is it then?" ask. That's when she comes to her feet to reveal the small, still form she had been embracing. With her great nose, the tigress nudges her dead child. "Stillborn," she says. "In 2 years, there hasn't been a single cub born alive in all the forest. We don't know why or how, but in our dreams we tigers see an evil shape hiding underground eating our children." The tigress bends her head and gently grasps her dead child between her teeth. Slowly, she walks from the den. I don't follow. It doesn't seem proper. But as I wipe my own tears from my cheeks, I realize that all this time I have been wrong. As the tigress said, the trolls were nothing more than an annoyance. The deaths of the tiger cubs, this was their great tragedy. A stench assaulted my nostrils the moment I entered the cave, overpowering even the tiger urine on my pants. I choked and pulled my shirt in front of my mouth and nose in an effort to block the odor, but it didn't help much. "What is that sour smell?" I said, one of my followers next to me. Above the arm that covered her nose, I could see fear in her eyes. "Death," the soldier said. "As strong as it is, I'd step carefully. That stench is too powerful to be a single corpse." Even without the warning, I would have proceeded into these dark tunnels with extra caution. The air was chilly, the walls damp, slick, and slimy. Believe me, I wasn't looking forward to spending even an hour in this place, much less the days and possibly weeks it would take to search all the passageways. Turning toward my small army, I ordered, "Every 5th man light a torch." I was staring at a peculiar shadow when the first light was struck, flashing momentarily in the light. That's when they attacked. They had been waiting for us, lurking in the darkness and thirsting for the kill. The undead and demon defenders of these tunnels are so organized that surely they must be part of a larger army. Unfortunately, it's pointless to try to interrogate the creatures. They fear no pain, so I still have no idea who leads them. But whoever it is, I sense that they are the one behind the recent stillbirths of the white tiger cubs. Some of the caverns in this cursed subterranean land are tall enough for me to let Shaera's falcon, Breeze, stretch her wings and fly, but ever since we entered these tunnels the bird has been somber and reserved. Like Breeze, I think I miss having the sky over my head. Who would have thought I'd actually miss the woods? I don't like to kill. Over the past few months, I have grown more used to it, but taking the life of any creature still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I remember feeling a twinge of regret even when I killed the Troll Lord. Sure, he was a brutal, merciless blight on the forest, but he was alive until I took that from him. I felt no such guilt, however, when I took the life of the necromancer, Werlark, especially after I saw the dark chamber beneath his home. I knew when I entered the dank room that everything in it was part of a complicated spell. The bloody drawings on the floor and ceiling, the tiger eyes stored in jars, the piles of claws and teeth and bones, and things I'd rather not mention. They were all arranged to draw the life from the white tiger cubs while still in the wombs of their mothers. That essence was then transferred to Werlark, probably to keep him alive well beyond his normal human years. What other children had Werlark claimed during his long, unnatural life? I feel no guilt. In fact, I feel proud. The world is a better place now that the dark knowledge within Werlark's demented mind is gone forever. With a flask of oil and a torch, I quickly put an end to Werlark's evil spell.
Alright guys, so I have finished the scenario. Overall, it wasn't as hard as the first scenario. The second scenario, to be honest, all you have to do is make sure that you have your first stronghold defended from all the enemies. All the other strongholds, I don't think it's necessary to capture. But yeah, the important thing is just defending your first stronghold. And yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult because the enemies have a direct portal to your stronghold. So what I recommend is when you see an enemy that is close to a portal or near your first stronghold, buy some units to defend your castle. For me, I just bought the ranged. I forgot the creature, but it was pretty good. I bought it from the creature portal. It had like ranged attacks, so that was pretty good for defending. But yeah, for the story, it was very interesting. So basically, we are trying to save the white tigers. We're trying to help the white tigers so that we can form an alliance with them. So yeah, at the end, it was honestly kind of disturbing. There's this necromancer that uses like this dark spell, evil's dark spell, to I guess you can say suck the life out of the baby tigers so that the necromancer himself can live longer. So that is a very disturbing to think about, but very interesting story. We completed this scenario, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.